Meanwhile, Indian women's team captain Rani Rampal and goal scorer Gurjeet Kaur exclusively spoke to India today after the victory. Rani said that she was speechless after the victory. She said that she was super proud of how the team and how they had told one another to give it their all for whole 60 whole minutes. Rani said the team defended really well and converted the chance they got. She said you need the courage to bounce back after 3 straight losses in the first 3 games, but they did it. She said they cried after the loss against Great Britain. India's match winner Gurjeet Kaur also said the mood in the camp is upbeat and their hard work has paid off. She said for both the men and women's hockey team, reaching the semi-finals is a huge moment. Boria Majumdar joining us live from Tokyo. Boria, we're all smiles at the moment. What a defining moment right there for Indian hockey. All the hard work looks like it's paid off. All the defeats in the, the other games as well, the disappointments, everything is gone away, evaporated somewhere when you've got the hockey team putting up such a stunning performance.
The last 12 hours should be framed and put up in some wall saying defining 12 hours of Indian sport. The girls today, the performance that they put out, according to me, is the greatest ever victory in the annals of Indian women's hockey. Chak De India was real, this is real. And no Kabir Khan can do what Surd Marine and the girls did today. It is better than any expected script. It is better than any Bollywood movie. 70 minute, yahan pe 60 minute. That's what you need day after when they take field for the semi-final. Can they do it? Of course they can. When you've taken out the hockey rules in Australia, world's #2 team, Netherlands is the #1 team, you won't face them. You can now start to believe, genuinely believe that you belong. And when you belong, you can just punch above your weight and get to that silver medal bout. If you get to the silver medal match, it's all yours. Rani Rampal, Savita Punia, Gurjeet and Vandana Kataria and the rest of the girls, of course Coach Surd Marine, will start to believe they're right up there. When Surd Marine was asked today, what about the semi-final, all he said was, enjoy. I will of course speak to Rani Rampal in a bit.
Yeah.
I will speak to Savita Punia in a bit and get you more. But all I can say is that performance exceeded my expectation despite me being the biggest optimist in Indian sport. I still can't explain how delighted I am having seen the girls do what they have.
Boria, don't forget your Japanese rasgullas. Serve it to the Indian hockey team. They deserve every bit of it. You found the Japanese rasgullas, I know, right there in Tokyo. I'm also being joined by, yes, absolutely. I'm also being joined by Rajdeep Sardesai on this story. Rajdeep, it's one of the biggest upsets, one could say, in sports history. How would you define the way the women performed right there? Now, is Chak De, the movie passé, should there be another sequel to the movie with this defining moment in Indian sport?
You know, movies are about real life. This is real life. And I think the difference today was, even compared to the men, was how unexpected it was. You know, you expect Indian men's hockey team to push for semi-finals, push for finals. The Indian women's hockey team finished 12th and last in Rio. From there to reach the semi-finals, I liken this to a 1983-like moment. I know we haven't won the Olympics yet, and if we do that, I think it'll be even bigger than 1983 in women's hockey or in any sport in this country. But for now, just to defeat the mighty Australians, who are world #2, to do it with a remarkable display. Now, I watched the entire match, and India looked the better team. Australia, yes, attacked, had more penalty corners, but India's defense was solid. India seemed to be more comfortable on the ball. We seemed fitter than the Australians, and I've just heard that there are 9 Indian girls who are better than the Australians when it comes to the yo-yo test. Now that shows just how much progress Indian hockey has made. And look at these stories. Rani Rampal, father was a cart driver and, you know, struggled to buy a hockey stick for his daughter. Today she is the captain of a team which is poised to create history. I mean, these are the kind of inspirational stories that transform a sport. So it goes well beyond a Chak De India moment. I think this is arguably one of the finest moments in Indian Olympic history, certainly in women's sport in this country. And I know that irrational exuberance is sometimes self-defeating when you only enter the semi-finals and are not on the podium. But I think this day will be remembered as a breakthrough moment for Indian women's hockey in particular. You will see many young women today being inspired by what Rani Rampal and Savita and Gold, she was fantastic, have done today.
Oh, absolutely. This day is going to go down in history, etched in history forever. Boria and Rajdeep continue to be with us right there. Chak De India movie star Tanya Abrol also spoke to India today about the women's team. Massive victory at the Olympics. Here is what she had to say.
It's a very good morning indeed. In fact, I got up little late and I just woke up because yesterday Indian men's team also qualified. And I was like, what? Australia, gold medal, what? And I woke up like that and I just put it on and I could see that India is leading with 1 goal. First of all, that was so refreshing. I was like, wow, yaar, hamara ek goal hai aur hum aage chal rahe hain. Very good. Just maintain the lead and maybe score 1 goal and seal the deal. Very exciting. But the last quarter was so nerve-wracking. Even we got 3 penalty corners, and 1 penalty corner was because the glove was not removed and everything was so much chaos, and I was just like keeping my fingers crossed that ye goal nahi hona chahiye, this goal cannot go. India has to qualify, it has to qualify for semis, and it's just tremendous. It's amazing. I'm so happy.
And Indian fans are ecstatic as national women's team has created history in Tokyo Olympics 2020 by thrashing the Australian team 1-0 to enter the semi-finals. The Rani Rampal-led side defended well with excellent turnovers and kept the pressure on the Aussies during the entire 60 minutes of the play. Wishes are pouring in from all quarters. Social media in no time is flooded with wishes for the women's team. Many eminent personalities have congratulated the team for entering into the semi-finals for the first time in the history of Olympics. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has congratulated the team. He said that he has no words to express his excitement and happiness. Indian football team captain Sunil Chhetri lauded the victory over Aussies and said that the women's team has made our Monday exceptional with a performance for the ages. Very special. Lakshman also congratulated the team and wished the team ahead of their very first semis in the Olympics. The victory came a day after the men's hockey team qualified for the semi-final match.
अगले आने वाले बहुत महत्वपूर्ण मैचेस के लिए भी 135 करोड़ भारतीयों की ओर से बहुत शुभकामनाएं। मुझे खुशी इस बात की है कि भारत की बेटियों ने अब तक 2 मेडल जीत कर दिखाए हैं। आज महिला हॉकी टीम ने भी शानदार प्रदर्शन किया है और पुरुष हॉकी टीम ने भी शानदार प्रदर्शन किया है।
इंडिया के लिए बहुत बड़ा दिन है आज का दिन। हमारा महिला और पुरुष दोनों टीमें सेमीफाइनल्स पहुंचना ओलंपिक्स में, वो भी हॉकी जैसे गेम में, बड़ी गेम है और बड़ी जीत है। लेकिन सेमीफाइनल्स 49 इयर्स बाद इंडिया सेमीफाइनल्स खेल रहे हैं ओलंपिक्स में, बहुत बड़ी बात है ये हमारे लिए और इंडिया के लिए तो ये तो सेलिब्रेट करना है। अब हम तो उम्मीद है कि दोनों मेडल लाए, लेकिन सेमीफाइनल पहुंचना अपने आप में इतिहास रचा है।
Chitrashi Rawal, who played Komal and Chautala in Chak De India, is now joining us live. Chitrashi, do you have goosebumps at this point of time? Is it a deja vu moment for you when you see the Indian hockey team performing this way, and your days when you were shooting the film, when the film aired, the manner in which there was exuberance all around? Is putting goosebumps down your spine at the moment?
Absolutely, because today I woke up with this fantastic news that our girls for the first time are in semi-finals, and I felt so good. I've been getting so many calls.
Right. We'll re-establish the connection right there to Chitrashi. Chitrashi is joining us. You know, she's reliving her moments when she was shooting Chak De India as well. When she's back, she's going to be back with that reaction with us. In the meanwhile, let's take this across to Boria Majumdar from Tokyo. Boria, you know, we're saying this is a sensational performance, and yes, this is going to be etched in history forever, as Rajdeep was saying as well. It's one of the most defining moments for Indian hockey, for women's sport in India. Many are gathering inspiration, but now the big challenge is going to be the finals. What is your take of how the women's team is likely to perform in the finals?
Semi-final, not final yet, semi-final. Semi-final, after a momentum gaining victory like this, you have every reason to hope that you will be able to punch above your weight. Because the point that Rani Rampal made, that after 3 consecutive losses, you were able to beat Ireland, you were able to beat South Africa, now you'll be able to beat Australia. So you are on a roll. You've beaten 3 top sides, Australia, of course, the world number 2 side. Most importantly, the point that Rajdeep was trying to make about fitness, let me just give you details.
Yeah.
Because I follow these teams on a regular basis. Both the men and women in the yo-yo test have done 20 plus. Rani Rampal, in an interview to me on India Today, Radha Sports Today, Rani, Savita and Sard Marine, do you know that they've trained for 8 hours consecutively on particular days? She said, we were craving for cheat meals because we used to train for 8 hours consecutively. 8 hours in the grueling heat. Do you know half these players had COVID? Do you know half of these players, over the last 1.5 years, haven't even been home because they were during the pandemic together in that camp. This is the kind of hardship that they've gone through. And thereafter, when I asked them, so what is the expectation? You should play that interview. You will know Rani Rampal, Savita and Sard Marine saying this. They said, all we need to do is get to the quarterfinal. That's when the tournament starts. Once it's quarterfinal time, it's knockout and anything can happen. And they proved it. Knockout, and they knocked out Australia. Can they knock out another fancy side? They can. Because once you get this kind of momentum, there's nothing that's going to stop you. I am very clear. I have studied Indian hockey history for a long, long time. According to me, there is no debate. This is the greatest ever win in the history of Indian women's hockey. By the way, they came close in 1980. The first time that women's hockey was introduced, our girls came close. They were 1 win away from securing a medal. But that was the boycott Olympics. This is a different one. This team, Rio, we got the wooden spoon. We came last.
Yeah.
In the qualifiers, we were 5-all against the United States. Eventually won 6-5. Now 3 defeats. This is an humongous, gargantuan achievement. And make no mistake, they deserve every right to enjoy today.
Absolutely. And I got so excited, Boria, for a moment right there. If I call the semi-finals the finals, because this excitement is unparalleled, and I'm also requesting our producers right there to play that interview out that Boria was mentioning. Chitrashi Raval, I believe, is back with us. Chitrashi, goosebumps going down your spine. You were talking to us about the deja vu moment that you were having as well.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. I think today everybody's really excited, so I'm getting so many calls. It just feels like the victory is ours, like how we felt when we were shooting for a movie. And it is actually a very deja vu moment, because the moment I woke up and I saw all the photographs and I saw all the girls, celebrating the way we were celebrating in the movie, it's very, very parallel to what we had experienced, but of course not to that extent of what the girls today have achieved, because we are very close to the medal, and it is for the first time that we've done it. And to beat Australia, because Australia is in world number 2 right now, and for us to actually beat the team is such an exciting time. So I'm really hoping that we continue the stride that we are already on, and the girls get us a medal, because it's just, August is a very a special month for all of us, because 10th of August when the movie released, Chak De India. So I think it's going to be 14 to 15 years of celebrating Chak De India. And if we win it...
And what a way to celebrate the 14 to 15 years that you were talking about. Rajdeep is also with us. Chitrashi, stay on with us. Rajdeep, just on a very separate note, you follow every sport that there is, especially cricket, hockey, every sport. If you could tell our viewers about the grit, the determination, the sweat and blood that goes behind all these players, their practices, their camps, what gets them here and what makes them who they are, and the kind of performance that we end up seeing them.
I'm sure Boria tracks them more regularly than I do, but I want to give the big picture. Look at where women's sport is in this country, and I think that's an important point to look at. Look at in every sport. We've seen boxers breaking every stereotype. First Mary Kom, when she won a bronze. Now you've got...
Sorry about the interruption, Rajdeep. I'm coming back to you. Prime Minister Modi has congratulated the hockey team. That's the latest that is coming in. Prime Minister says historic effort by men and women hockey team. That's the latest breaking news that is coming in. Rajdeep, coming back to you on what you were talking about. You were giving us the bigger picture.
Yes. Sure. Look, politicians will always, cheer us, and good for that. They'll cheer us across the line. I wish they did it 365 days, 24/7. That's another story. But women's sport is what I was talking about. Look at our sport. Lovelina Borgohain still has a chance possibly to win gold. She's in a semi-final on Wednesday morning. You've got Mirabai Chanu, already won a silver. PV Sindhu reaching the Mount Everest in a way of sport by winning 2 consecutive medals. At least in the Indian context, the Mount Everest, to win the first woman sportsman or sportswoman to win 2 individual medals, Sushil Kumar in men. Look at the women's hockey team. Look at our women in every sport now being competitive. Look at even our women's cricket team, competitive, was in the last World Cup final. So I think women's sport is really one of the stories of our times, 3 power. And I think this in a way is going to be inspirational for an entire generation. I grew up in the 70s, and then in the 80s we had PT Usha. She finished 4th in a 400 meters hurdle. She was a great inspirational figure for athletics for a while. But I think now you're seeing it not just in one sport but across sports. We need to build on that. Manu Bakar, we had a lot of expectations from her. Unfortunately, our shooters haven't done as well. But who is to say that 4 years from now or 3 years from now they won't win an Olympic medal? So I think this is a moment to celebrate, in a way, Indians' 3 power. This is a moment to celebrate the arrival of the Indian woman really on the center stage of the Olympics. Not just one PV Sindhu, but there's Mirabai Chanu, there's Lovelina, now there's the women's hockey team. So, you've got these stories that can be told and retold, and I think that will have a huge effect. That's why I think today is so significant, because this is really breaking another major barrier. And who is to say, as Boria says, that we can't go on and, reach the finals and win gold? There are tough teams ahead, no doubt. But once you've beaten the world number 2, who is to say you can't beat the world number 1 as well? So I think Indian women's hockey has broken a glass ceiling today, and I really hope that Indian women's sport shows the way in the years ahead.
Absolutely. And Rajdeep, this is the right time to, reverberate with our promo, which is running on air. Go India, go for gold as well. If they could beat world number 2, they can definitely go on there to win a gold, and all hopes are now on the women's hockey team. Boria, a word on the coach of the Indian women's hockey team as well. And then I'm going to go back to Chitrashi to drop an analogy with the film as well.
By the way, if you saw me, I was actually on the phone talking to Saad Marine. I will get you Saad Marine in what? Half an hour? He said to me he's having, wait, I'll read it out. He's having lunch and getting there. I've already sent him a Zoom link. I'll get Saad Marine live. So Saad Marine has done exceptionally well for this Indian side. After the loss against Great Britain, he gave the girls a bit of a shake-up, and that was evident. So Saad Marine was superb. The way he has worked with these girls, he has worked with the men's team also, Saad Marine. So he's worked with both the sides. And over the last couple of years, with Rani Rampal and team, the way Saad Marine has worked is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So that's what I'm saying. You must celebrate the contribution of Saad Marine a la Kabir Khan. Rajdeep was beautiful there. He was talking about women's empowerment. I am telling you this, Indian women have beaten the men 10-0 at these Olympic Games in every sport. And that's been the story from Rio. Sindhu and Sakshi there. And now look at Lovelina, look at Sindhu, look at Mira, look at the women's hockey team. The men have done well. The shooters, yes, they were underwhelming, but Manu Bhakar's 19. All of these kids, people who have been there, will get more mature. Indian sport, if anyone comes and tells you ever again that these Olympics, it's all nonsense. People need to get behind Olympic sport. A sport galvanizes a country. Look at the amount of television time you are spending today. Why? Because this gives you positive traction. All the negativity and gloom goes out of the way. And that's why I'm proud of our girls. Lore has been scripted. Immortality achieved. And they have now elevated themselves to the annals of Indian
I think the nation is proud of our girls, and the girl power is right there, raging on. What a watershed moment right there for all our women. What an inspiration too. Chitrashi Rawat is still with us. She played Komal Chautala in Chak De India. Chitrashi, I was talking to you about the coach, and Boria just told us a little about the coach of the Indian women's hockey team. Does this give you, nostalgic moments from where Kabir Khan was training you too?
Of course it does, because I think to really have a good team, it's extremely important to have a really good coach. And I think it is proven the way the girls are playing right now. You can see how much they have an amazing support by the coach, which is very important. And similarly for us, off the field and on the field also, I remember, because Shah Rukh sir was always amazing with us and always very gentle with us whenever we were shooting or we were not shooting. So it just feels amazing to see all the girls stepping into their power and just going out and doing the best that they can, and you can see the results. So it just seems very surreal at the moment, but it has left me very, very elated and happy and excited for the girls. So I just cannot wait that how close we are to the medal, and we just grab hold of that power and just go at it.
Absolutely, that's, go India, go for gold, truly in every sense. And the women have really made India proud. As Rajdeep, Boria, Chitrashi all were mentioning, this is a watershed moment in the history of Indian sport. These girls have gone ahead and broken the glass ceiling. With that, it's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us on this special broadcast. We'll continue updating you. For now, slipping to a very short commercial break.